We continue into chapter 11. Chapter 11 begins with Prince Arjuna sharing how he's doing. Prince Arjuna is loved so much by Sri Krishna, he could just sense Sri Krishna asking, "How are you?" And Prince Arjuna shares, "I am the greatest, but I'm not God." In one of the examples, Sri Krishna himself shares, "Of all of the Pandavas, I am Dhananjaya." So he feels he's the greatest. And the implication of this is Prince Arjuna is no longer a Artha Bhakta. If we connect this back to chapter 7, he is no longer wanting a relationship with the divine to come out of dejection. He's already come out of dejection. Prince Arjuna is also not a Artha Arthi Bhakta. He does not want a relationship with the divine to come out of anxiety. Shoka and Bhaya are done for him. He's working hard and smart. He's evolving just within 10 chapters. Now, Prince Arjuna is a Jignasu. He wants a relationship with the divine to be divine. There is still the problem of moha. Lightly, that is stress, but more metaphysically, it is confusion about what he is. He knows he's not an individual, but he doesn't know that he's divine. There are more expressions from Prince Arjuna where he's sharing with Sri Krishna, "I am not interested in the great. I have seen the greatest. Not interested in the great." I've explained that. He's seen the greatest in chapter 10, but now he wants to feel God. This is how chapter 11 develops. It's one of the longest chapters. Other than chapter 2 and chapter 18, this is next in terms of length because Shri Krishna tries. He tries so hard to help Prince Arjuna feel God. And I just want you to be in this position. The only way you're going to feel God is if you're no longer interested in the great. If you're already seeing the greatest, this is sequential. You can't get to 3 unless you've completed 2 and 1. So we are now in verse 8. Shri Krishna is trying to help Prince Arjuna feel God, but Prince Arjuna is struggling. So Shri Krishna works even harder. Natu mam shakyase drashtum aneneva swachakshusha divyam dadami te chakshuhu pashyame yogam aishwaram. Joy. Na, not. Tu, indeed. Mam, that is Shri Krishna. Shakyase drashtum. You cannot see me. Anena, with swachakshusha, with your eyes. You cannot see me with your eyes because I am not a matter of seeing, I am a matter of feeling. There is no scope for sight in feeling God. The great, there is sight. The greatest, there is sight. But for God, there's no scope for sight. When Narendranath Datta, who later became Puja Swami Vivekananda, went to Sri Ramakrishna and said, "Do you see God?" And he said, "I see God more clearly than I see you." And we love hearing that, but have you thought about it? He's saying more clearly than I see you because Sri Ramakrishna knows these are just eyes. And these, for him, are old eyes, as in Sri Ramakrishna. But he could feel Narendranath Datta's presence. A matter of feeling. I'd shared this in the Narada Bhakti Sutra course yesterday, that we should live in a less gross way. That way you come to tune in that the important things in life are within. They're subtle, they're causal. Now the second line. Divyam, divine. Dadami, I am giving you, te, to you. Chakshuhu, I am giving you divine eyes. These eyes have nothing to do with sight. We have lots of optometrists who are joining us. You're out. Not applicable in reference to this verse. I can wear glasses on contacts with laser eye and still not have the scope for sight for the divine. And just pausing here, making these connections, this offering of divine eyes was already foreshadowed in chapter 10. And I did state it, and I know you remember it. In chapter 10, verse 10, Shri Krishna shares, Dadami buddhi yogam tam. I'm giving you buddhi yoga. I'm giving you vision. Prince Arjuna received some of it, but not fully. Like you're downloading a file and Wi-Fi breaks up. That's what happened between chapter 10 and 11. But now Shri Krishna, it's almost like he's frustrated that Prince Arjuna is not feeling him. So he works harder. He goes into, I think it's called Starlink, right? That satellite Wi-Fi. I'm giving you divine eyes. Pasha. Now feel me. That is me, that is mine. Yogam Aishwaram. Not an ordinary yoga, but the yoga of oneness. Chapter 10 is about diversity. Chapter 11 is about unity. This love of Sri Krishna is not deserved by Prince Arjuna nor us. When you receive that which you do not deserve, be grateful, be humble. This chapter is a chapter to level our egos. Lots of powerful thoughts are coming. One of the most powerful and philosophical teachings in the Bhagavad Gita is where Shri Krishna declares, I am in them. But then he retracts and shares, actually, they are in me. But then he retracts more. It's like Shri Krishna is confused about what he's saying. Actually, they are not in me. Now imagine I said that to you. I'm with you. Actually, you're with me. Actually, you're not with me. That's the lack of steadiness in meaningful mornings, correct? When I teach like that. But I had shared this as powerful and philosophical. I am in them. That is Bhagavad Gita's chapter 10 on diversity. You see how one quarter has a commentary that is an entire chapter. I am not in them. They are in me. What chapter is that? Chapter 11. not about diversity, but rather unity. But then Sri Krishna also shares, they are not in me. That is the message of chapter 12, where bhakti or dependence evolves to asi or being. The Bhagavad Gita flows through tvam, tat, and the final section is on asi. It is not on depending, it is on being. Shared in another reflective framework. In chapter 10, verses 21 to 38, Shri Krishna shared 65 as the important number. 65 references were shared with us. But then he closes this chapter, 39 to 42, where the important number goes from 65 to 3. All emerges, exists, and ends in me. See how he's taking us from diversity to unity, from 65 to 3. Now in chapter 11, this requires a lot of reflection. If an entity emerges, exists, and ends, in that same entity, really the important number is not even 3, the important number is 1. Those are 3 expressions of the one foundation. 65, 3, 1. Final reflection on this before we come back to the specifics of chapter 11. How does one feel infinite? We feel we're finite, yet we know we have to feel that we're infinite because that's the nature of infinity, inclusivity. But how do you reconcile this? Just try to visualize or imagine the difficulty in trying to guide or teach someone who feels they're finite for them to train to feel that they're infinite. This is an impossibility. Yet, our maps and our guides, they dedicate their lives to doing so, to addressing this impossibility. To teach oneness, look at how many chapters are explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Please feel humbled and inspired that the impossible is trying to be made possible for us. In chapter 11, verse 8, Shri Krishna offers Prince Arjuna Divya Chakshu. And because we tend to externalize matters, we feel like Shri Krishna has given Prince Arjuna binoculars. Or I think I'd called it the James Webb Space Telescope. Whatever I had called it at that time, but you know what I'm talking about. But actually, you have to remember what he stated in chapter 10. He's not adding on to Prince Arjuna, rather he's removing the ignoring. That's what he's removing. Shri Krishna had shared, on account of ajnana, there's tama. On account of ignoring, there is laziness. He's removing the ignoring. He's removing the medium of the eyes. Our eyes are finite. As long as you feel you're going to see the infinite with them, you never will, and you'll keep feeling dejected. In verses 9 through 14, it is Sanjaya who is describing what he's feeling as God. Sanjaya is able to do this because he's prepared. In contrast, verses 15 to 31, Prince Arjuna is trying to describe what he is trying to feel as God, but he's struggling because he's unprepared. Sanjaya prepared, Prince Arjuna unprepared. This preparation is in relation to individuality. Sanjaya is prepared to renounce his individuality. Prince Arjuna is not prepared to renounce this, which is why he can't feel God. He can't feel his vastness.